in one single video so you don't miss a thing. You can go to your friends and say, hey, I know what's coming. Do you? Up this week, we're going to talk about Apple. They've been filing trademarks like crazy. Supposedly, the next Nexus 7 specs have been leaked, and the HTC One of my favorite phones of the year, looks like it's poised to get both big and little brothers. And last, but definitely not least, a 20-megapixel Sony phone might be coming soon. This is Rumor Roundup. Let's go ahead and start rounding up. All right, so let's start with Apple and the iWatch rumors. If Apple lawyers got paid by the trademark and patent, they'd be rich enough to probably buy one of their own islands. So one day after Japan made Apple's trademark for iWatch public knowledge, 4 other countries have followed suit. The good folks at 9to5Mac first uncovered an application for a patent made in Mexico by Maria Teresa Ejure Tellez, head of trademark departments at Orochi, Moroccan, and Linder SC on behalf of Apple. That was a mouthful. The iWatch trademarks were made into 2 categories, one for the hardware, the other for the software, and were filed on June 3rd. Their rivals, though, at Mac Rumors also uncovered trademark applications in both Taiwan and Turkey. Not long, a reader also uncovered application for an Apple patent in Colombia on June 4th, including Japan and Russia. This brings the number of countries with an iWatch trademark application to 6. Such a worldwide and well-coordinated effort can only mean in just a matter of time for Apple officially acknowledges the iWatch. At least we're hoping anyway. So if you're patent trolls out there, just start patenting everything with an I in it. The dishwasher, the coffee machine, the and just be like, maybe Apple's gonna get into that. I'm hoping that Apple's gonna have some crazy innovation. Right now, I don't see much of a need for a smartwatch, but a few years ago, I didn't see much of a need for a tablet either. So I'm fingers crossed that maybe Apple's got some of that juice left, and they are going to give us something delicious that we're all gonna wanna wear on our wrists. Supposedly, the next generation Nexus 7 specs have been leaked, which is kind of exciting. This story, though, can be a little bit dubious. It goes a little something like this. A user was logging into an ASUS support forum and asking about the next generation tablet. Essentially, the support rep from ASUS is like, hey, dude, if you're super nice, I will tell you what's coming. Now, it's believable because a lot of these reps do have access to those internal databases. It's unbelievable because it just seems too obvious. Like, hey, I was on with Apple support and I asked about the 5S. They told me everything. And they also said 17 color iPhones are coming. So according to the rep, the device will sport a 7-inch display with a full HD resolution now. So that's kind of nice. We're bumped up to 1080p. Being powered by a Snapdragon 600 quad-core CPU, 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage, 5-megapixel rear camera. Nice to have a rear camera on there. Android 4.3, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, Bluetooth, and all the rest of that stuff. I love the Nexus 7, and I love its big brother, the Nexus 7 squared. It can't be Nexus 8. One of my favorite phones of, well, really ever, the HTC One, looks like its family's gonna get a little bit bigger. There's been plenty of speculation surrounding the rumored HTC One Mini, but according to a leaked document from European retailer O2 Germany, a phablet-sized HTC One Max may also be in the works. So the HTC One Mini is expected to launch in Q3, and O2 Germany recently claimed that the handset would be available starting on August 3rd. The handset will likely run Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, though it's unclear if it's going to come with HTC's latest Sense 5 UI, the flagship one's quad-core processor, or that funky IR blaster. One of the devices that I really want is a phablet version of the HTC One. Looks like the HTC One Max, previously leaked as the T6, supposedly is going to feature a 5.9-inch full HD display, a 2.3 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 800 processor, so that's 200 better than the 600, 2 gigs of RAM, 3,300 milliamp hour battery, boom sound speakers, the ultra-pixel camera, and a stylus. It may also run Android Keyline Pi, suggesting its release date may still be very, very far off. According to O2 Germany, the HTC One Max will only come in silver, but it'll be black and a red version probably a few months later. Supposedly a 20-megapixel Sony phone is coming. A rumor from earlier this year suggested Sony would introduce a CyberShot Xperia phone in the upcoming months, and a fresh leak is backing that claim up. In a series of renders acquired by GSM Arena, the images show off what looks to be your typical Xperia handset that we've seen over the past several months. Only, according to rumblings, though, it's going to come with freaking 20-megapixel Zeiss camera, along with a 5-inch full HD display. There's not really much to discern from the photos themselves, but information regarding device's internals, codenamed Honami. In addition to the massive camera and display size, the device will allegedly pack a 2.3 GHz Snapdragon 800 processor, 2 gigs of RAMs, micro SD card slot, and a battery between 2,700 and 3,000 milliamp hours. The biggest news, obviously, is that it'll have a crazy high-end shooter that'll likely do battle with Nokia's upcoming EOS device. But Sony's Honami isn't expected to be announced until IFA in September, so we have to wait to see if that device is going to come. If it does, though, it'll be available through Japan's NTT Docomo, along with the international version, which hopefully we will get. And take a minute to thank our friends and sponsors at GameFly. It's the largest online video game rental service and offers you personally, a choice from over 7,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at just $15.95 a month, GameFly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. There are no late fees, due dates, and shipping is totally free and always free. Once you're done playing a game, just send it back, and GameFly will send you the next item on your list. If you really like the game that you're playing, simply click keep it on the GameFly website, and the game is yours at a discounted price. And they're even going to send you the case and manuals for free. TechnoBuffalo fans, because we love you, get a free 15-day trial when they go to gamefly.com/TechnoBuffalo. So if you want to try BioShock Infinite or one of the new Batman games, try it. Gamefly.com/TechnoBuffalo. Let's stop from the rumors for just a minute. I want to remind you of a show that I do on the tech feed called Techno Buffalo's Driven, where I talk about cars, sometimes drive cars, and just stare at cars. This week though, since I got a baby on the way, we're talking about the top 5 tech for kids. So if you're a mom, you're a dad, or think you might want to have a kid, or just love technology, check out the video to take a look at some of the top 5 tech for kids, including this crazy cocoon of Kevlar that'll surround yo little one. Check it out. So what do you guys think about any of this stuff? For me, I'm most excited about the iWatch. I love to see a new product I didn't know I needed. And I'm hoping that we're going to see that very soon. Leave your comments down below. Please give the video a thumbs up. We most definitely appreciate it. I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. I'll see you next video.